Hey, Coach Abel here along with Coach Weiss, the Abel Body Experts. We want to throw a Coach 'em Up session at you about why speed training. And Coach, I always say that success leaves clues. And if we look at certain sports where speed training predominates, specifically I'm thinking position players in football, where they do a lot of interval track work, you see great physiques with great developed abdominals without even really training the abdominals. And part of the reason for that is speed training, and no one really understands the applications. So in this Coach 'em Up, we just want to say that speed is not an isolated physical quality. It's something that demands a high level of work capacity and intensity and outstanding strength and power. And this is why it should be employed by, say, female figure competitors rather than this long, steady duration cardio, which totally misapplies our understanding of energy systems. So remember, speed involves high neural demand. Neural demand is also metabolic demand, which translates into fat loss. And it demands quality training, intensity, and concentration. And everyone has to do speed training according to their own level. So speed training, speed, force, development, we look at doing once or twice per week depending on the program design. And again, high neural demand and great metabolic payoffs. Coach?
Yeah, it's a difference that you always hear about between a sprinter and a marathon runner, and you look at the glutes and the hamstrings of a sprinter as opposed to someone that is a long distance athlete, and it becomes pretty evident what that type of speed strength or speed work does to somebody's physique too. Right. There's a certain genetic component to it as well, as far as someone that's going to be more apt to be a better sprinter than they are a marathon runner or something like that, but there's still the training leaves clues for sure as to what it does.
And unfortunately, when training leaves clues, what most people make the mistake of doing is they look at the weight training that speed athletes do rather than the actual track work that the speed athletes do. And I think if there's a payoff for people who are seeking physique development, specifically bodybuilders and or figure competitors, they would behoove themselves to look into actual sprint workouts and track work like we do with a lot of our athletes. Again, once or twice per week depending on the other training that you're doing, because it's very easy to overtrain when you're doing speed work. Yeah. But look at the position players in football, safeties and cornerbacks, and you'll see some pretty well-developed physiques.
Look at their glutes and hamstrings on a running back who's got to turn that on like this and be able to go side to side as well.
Well, that's agility, a little different than speed.
But they can get that speed going forward, and it's very important to be able to turn it on very fast. Right. And it's pretty hard to beat the glute and hamstring development on some of those guys.
So speed training, another aspect of consideration in terms of development and metabolic payoff. And this has been a Coach 'em Up.